TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, wrong show. How y'all doing out there? Check this out. This Talk Show Kings coming at you live out in Douglasville, Georgia, having big fun out on TV 1061. Want to give a shout out to our man in the back, Mr. Felix Washington, the big, executive producer. Felix make things run around here. Want to give a shout out to Marcus Gibbons, who's not right here right now, but he's our technical director. Want to give a shout out.
Shouts out Marcus.
Let the Kings introduce themselves, starting on my far right.
King Ty Carr.
King Ty Carr from Boston.
Boston in the house.
Boston in the building.
I'm King Lundy.
King Lundy.
From the A, baby.
From the A, baby.
Yeah, put your fingers down. I'm Hassan joining y'all as usual from Philly. No fingers, just Philly.
King Hassan from Philly.
No fingers. We don't do
whatever, man.
Best cheesesteaks.
Yeah, I can't stand, but it is what it is. Let's not get on football right now. And your boy ATLDOC in the house.
The dog.
ATLDOC. I'd like to give a shout out real quick to Shamika Wright for joining us. Miss Kim Miller. I grew up with Kim. How you doing, young lady? Miss Laura Paris. How you doing, Laura? It's great to see you, young lady. And we're going to kick out, Harriet Lucas. I don't want to leave out any of our people because y'all our peoples and we love you. This show going to be kind of interesting, so I'm hoping y'all chime in and let us know what you think. Y'all is a euphemism or Atlanta thing for you all. I'm just saying, but you're going to hear y'all a lot because I don't talk right.
That's all right. We'll get you.
I appreciate
Keep you
straight.
straight.
About the knees. Sometimes I get scared. So, how we gonna start things off, Mister?
So we got like Doc mentioned, we got an interesting show. We got some pretty important topics. We're gonna get into sex trafficking later. We're gonna get into the marriage ages and what's legal and what's not legal. But to start off, we're gonna start with how do we feel? What should be taught in school as far as sex education? How deep should it be? And how should they be actively involved in distributing prophylactics and such? How do we feel about that? How do y'all feel about that?
Prophylactics.
That's condoms. That's condoms and such.
Yeah. For those of us with regular vocabulary, you mean, like rubbers. I ain't never prophylactic nothing in my life. I thought it was illegal in Georgia. But, okay. How you Kings feel about that? Anybody want to chime in?
I feel like they should distribute those, to the students, because the reality is, man, in high school, you have high schools actually having sex, So
Bro,
that's just the reality of it. Parents might not want to hear it, but they kids are active,
So at what age would you start? At what grade?
I would say 16.
16?
16. Some people start early as 15. I did. So,
You said you did or didn't?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Your mom's.
Oh, yeah.
Just watching.
Yeah.
Okay, like over there.
He's actually here,
During the break, going to tighten him up.
Now, as far as sex being taught in high school, I truly think that if you teach your child sex at home first and let it correlate over to the high school, then they pretty much got somewhat of an indication of what has to happen and what needs to happen in their young life before it even gets to the high school. But after they get to the school or elementary school or whatever they have, I think it's a good thing to have a sex education class.
Gotcha. And when would you start?
I would start at an early age because I think that children prematurely get to that age quicker at 13 years old.
13.
I would start teaching, you know, and understand that there's a step that you have to take to teach any child anything. And I think with sex, if you take the right steps to teach that child it, then let it correlate over to the schools.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay. Very intelligent conversation. I like
Thank you.
that.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting on you. Go ahead. How you feel? What's your-
Me, I would break it down into segments.
Right.
Like, I would start teaching about the male and female body as young as 8, 9 years old, especially in gifted classes.
Absolutely.
Where kids seem to be a little more mature. But I was sexually active before I knew about a clitoris. I mean, that's real talk. I mean,
Right.
but that's not what we're taught. As men, we're taught so little about sex, it is ridiculous. I mean, we're taught basically beat our back out. That's it. I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
you know, trying to hit
Yeah.
as hard as you can, as long as you can. That's it. There's so much more to a woman than beat her back out. That is, I mean, a woman is in tune to her mind. If you ain't getting with a woman's mind, what you're doing on her body is almost irrelevant.
right.
I mean, you got to learn a woman to know sex with a woman. And we so far behind on that as far as what we teach our kids, especially our little boy kids. And then we teach females that sex is just wrong. That if somebody touch you or you want to touch somebody, you feel a certain way, it's wrong. Nah, now I would teach our girls to wait as long as possible.
Absolutely.
You know? But on that same note, I'm not going to teach them that the urges, that the feelings that you have makes you a bad or a dirty person. My cousin Durante is on here. He's like 8 months older than me, and the kid I used to follow, like everything I do. Right. Yeah. Glenn, just want to give a shout out to you too.
I think at 13 years old, the last thing a 13-year-old boy is thinking about is entertaining a woman's mind. At 13 years old, he's
I agree, but
going for the key automatically.
He's thinking about that because he don't know no better.
Absolutely.
He don't. He don't know that your woman is supposed to be your best friend.
Right. And
You
we
talk
was-
to a woman, that a woman's conversation,
Exactly.
Right.
a woman's viewpoint is so different than ours, and that's what makes the relationship special. That's what makes the conversation, the generalized agreement. That's what make it great. Is because the differences. You know, that's what makes
Yeah,
things.
and
whatever.
yep, and when we were coming up, y'all know how it was. It was, you heard about the older guys, they talked about their chicks that they were with, and that's how, as 13, 14, 15-year-old boys, that's what you wanted. And the girls were told not to do it. It makes
Yeah,
you,
right.
you know, makes you a hoe if you do it, or
Exactly.
and then you push them back so far. Then by the time they get 17, 18, 19, they just, you know, it clicks. Everything clicks at once for them.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they get a little promiscuous. That means messing with a lot of people.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Awesome that I was taught sex education in school in the 7th grade when I was 12. And of course, wait a minute, in 7th grade when I was 12. And of course, with the education or information rather than my parents gave me that, information rather that my parents gave me. I'm messing this all up because of my.
Go ahead, take the time.
Okay, awesome. With that, I was taught sex education in the 7th grade when I was 12. And of course, with education or information rather that my parents gave me, they gave me more to work with. That makes sense. I agree 13 would be good because nowadays kids get cycles at 10 and the boys are reaching puberty early. I agree
Right,
on that.
absolutely. They are.
Harriet says,
crazy.
yes, pediatrics have recommended you start as early as 12 to have the sex conversation because they are starting so early. I feel you. I also think kids get things from other places, so it's better if parents tell them and explain to them first. I feel you all on that one because messed up as it is, I started about like 4. Like I've been nasty ever since I can remember.
Right.
I'm just being honest with you. For whatever reason, something about girls made me want to touch on them, made me want to just be around them.
Right, but it's not sexual at 4 though.
Right, curious.
It's just, yeah,
more,
it's
The girl was
more
9,
curious than
I was
anything.
4. She was touching on me, I was touching on her. We was doing things.
That
It
was-
just wasn't no orgasms
That-
because I had no idea what
Y'all was
orgasms.
dry humping?
No, we was wet humping.
Yeah.
We was naked, and I'm doing my thing. I mean, I'm just being real. I mean,
All right,
yeah. It is what it is. It's the truth. You know, whether it's good or bad or indifferent.
But where did you get that from, though? Did you see it, or
What you watch?
was it just an
First time I
experience?
was
That,
asleep, She
right.
started messing with me. She was
Right.
older. She started
Okay.
messing with me. She got on top of me. It felt different, and I liked it.
Right.
So from that point on, I was trying to feel different.
Right.
I
I
mean,
mean, I hear you.
Yeah, we were all boys. You know, we had our own different
I
experiences.
can't lie. Starting in 9th grade, in high school, I just wanted to.
exactly.
Do everything.
You get them
Right,
eggs, you
yeah,
get that
yeah.
everywhere. The feeling is just so overwhelming. I can't speak for a woman because I've never been a woman.
Right.
But for us, hey, that feeling that got to have it is
Yeah.
The
it's like
urges.
air. It's like,
Yeah. I think all young men are going to reach that point and reach that stage in their lives where they're going to have that experience.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, was when I have a son, man, he'll be 8 soon, so whenever that happens down the road for him, it's
Right.
almost like I want it to be pushed off as much as possible. Because
Right.
what you have the first
Right.
time, as a guy, that's all.
a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
eat and you look for that again. You
Right.
That's what you do. Eat, sleep.
Exactly.
Is he somewhat curious, or he just no aspect, no clue right now?
No,
at eight?
right now he doesn't
Okay.
show any signs.
Okay.
I mean, he'll say that's my girlfriend at school or stuff like that.
Right.
But it's not-
Yeah,
Right.
that comes
I was
right.
gonna say, so you
Yeah, but I mean,
Absolutely.
Real talk.
yeah.
you got a few more years to go.
Me saying I
Exactly.
started way early. I think I was 19. Well, good for you. That's good. You know, hey, I think the later you start, the better. Because if you get that itch, oh my goodness.
Right. And right now, they're just putting so much on. Now, when we were coming up, all you see on TV now, especially the nudity parts, I never saw that nudity part coming up. Now, you know, it's a part of the show. Nudity is a part of the show. And a lot of kids, that unsupervised kids, I would say this, they get an opportunity to watch that with cable networks now,
Oh, yeah.
showing just about any and everything on TV.
They have
Then that opens up a door for these young kids to see first sight. They may not know what to do, but they're looking at the female body, the male body from
Yeah.
TV.
And they don't have that guidance.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna
Absolutely.
call Ty name, but one of us was a little young and may not remember when, you know, at a certain time of night, the TV went off.
Yeah.
National Anthem played.
That's right.
But
You know-
now TV 24/7. If you got cable, hey,
TV went off. Huh?
Yeah, TV went off.
Yeah. TV stopped going off because I don't remember that either.
Oh, yes, yes. When the national anthem come on,
maybe
it's
it went off earlier.
6 a.m.
Good.
Yeah, shoot, I started with kids are under so much pressure and they are so gullible. Ain't that the truth? Because
Yes.
kids think they know so much. Everybody want to grow up, but nobody wants the responsibilities of being grown.
Right.
It's like everybody wants to make their own decisions, won't want nobody to tell them to do, so on and so forth. And the biggest problem with kids is that they think they know more than the people who've already been through it.
Right.
I was like that.
yeah, I was like that.
put
I was
money
gonna say
on
we
it,
all
and you
was
agree
like
with
that.
like that. I don't know.
I was.
I mean, I want to do
I
my own
was just
thing.
like
Didn't
that.
want to listen to my pops, even though he had so much more experience than I did in life.
Right.
You know, but it is what it is.
But back to that part of the question, though, I think the issue that divides people is that if you're at high school and you're actively distributing condoms,
Exactly.
it's like you're almost promoting it.
Yeah.
Which I don't
Yeah.
think they are. But is it better to do that, or is it better to just not even just preach not having sex?
I say it's better than do it because, like I said,
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah, it's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, kids nowadays they're more
absolutely.
active.
Yes and no. I mean, some people go all the way through high school and don't. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true,
I mean,
too.
It's not just everybody in high school is
Yeah.
doing
Right.
it. You know
And
what I'm saying?
I think now, from what I hear, from the younger people I work with or whatever, it seems like it's less now than it was when we were growing up.
What's less?
It's less high school kids having sex.
Oh, I
Yeah.
feel you on that. I don't know.
Because it seemed like when we were growing up, that's all anybody was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
High school was like a fraternity war.
Yeah,
There was so many
yeah,
pregnant
yeah.
girls in there.
Right. It seems like it's less now
Yeah.
because it's just the younger generation isn't as doesn't appear to be as.
I got caught in the school bathroom once.
Yeah.
Wow. I ain't never get caught, but I have
Caught by-
done my thing in
A
school.
teacher?
By
a teacher?
Nah, more so like the school police officer.
Right.
Oh, we ain't have police
Yeah.
officer in my school.
Yeah, and see, then again, it was totally different from when you was in high school. We didn't even have truant officers or officers in neither school that I went to. You know, you just had teachers.
Yeah.
You know, and teachers would only do so much then. You know.
I had a friend pull a Uzi out in school. A teacher, Miss Strickland, she passed now, and I love to tell.
Probably told to go and put it up, didn't she?
Miss Strickland stood between him and the guy who was about to shoot.
Is that
and
right?
talked him down.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Yeah, Miss Strickland wasn't no joke. Hey, RD, thank you for watching, bruh.
You know, Miss Strickland's nowadays.
How far do they go with education? I mean, with sex education. You know what I'm saying? When they start teaching sex education, are they teaching oral sex? They teaching anal sex? Are they teaching diseases that you get from sex? Are they teaching, you know, what's the starting point? What's the stopping point? Because
there has to be a line. You don't want to just start like reenacting pornos at school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta.
I mean,
and that's a good question.
What's rape? What's not?
Yeah.
Rape? You know,
the most
what's
important topic should be safe sex.
Exactly.
Safe sex. We understand that you are probably, we understand that you are going to be experiencing sexual, physical contact, but safe sex.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, safe sex. It's
Teach
inevitable.
diseases and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Teach about the male and the female body, because again, we don't know.
And along with the distribution, if a school does distribute condoms, they need to have videos, whatever type of videos on how to, or paperwork on how to properly, you know what I mean, put it on, because, you know, you hear stories about that.
Yeah.
I may or may not have experienced that, I don't know. I'm just saying, when I was young, you know, you put on a condom, you might put it on wrong.
Yeah.
Just saying, I hear things about stuff like that.
Well, I don't have anything to hide myself. I never put a condom on wrong that I know of, you know.
That you know of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of a simple process. You put it on and roll it down. It ain't, I mean.
Yeah, when you're 16 and you don't feel like, you know,
absolutely.
you're just you got your mind focused on other stuff.
And
maybe you don't put it on right.
And
I
it's
don't know.
timing. If you put it on at the wrong time, it ain't gonna go on.
Right.
So you have to make sure your timing is right for it to.
This is true. This is true.
Exactly right. Yes. But I think that they should. You know, that's my opinion. I think they should give out condoms in school. Yeah, what better place?
Yeah.
I think that with the parents' consent, they should.
With the parents' consent.
If the parent write a letter or something, or tell them that they should.
Yeah.
They should. But
You mean like majority, like vote with the parents? Because you can't do it case by case.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think case by case.
who's going to do that? There's going to be one teacher talking to each. Like if there's 20 people in the class.
Students have homeroom, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, bring a letter in, send a letter home, and.
Right, but I'm saying, when are they going to teach it to the people that? So they're going to split up health class? Some people.
No. I think they should get the condoms like from the nurse or something.
Oh, I thought you meant like, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the education of it.
Yeah, we're going to educate y'all with this break that we're about to have, and we'll be right back with Talk Show Kings. Thank you for joining us. Artie says, not only safe sex, but having only one partner should be stressed. Love should be
Yeah, good luck with that.
in the conversation as well. I feel you on that one.
Good luck with that in high school.
I feel you on that one too. It's better to promote safe sex.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Hi.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com. And we thank you for your time.
Welcome back to that same. Oh, okay, wrong show again.
Sorry,
Hey,
you're
y'all,
good.
welcome back to the Talk Show Kings. You know, we was talking about sex education and when should it be taught, how deep should it go, right before we left. And, you know, we had an interesting conversation. Artie said not only should safe sex be taught, but only having one partner and love should be taught as far as sex goes.
Right.
That's deep, you know? I mean,
That's very important.
Well, how can you teach somebody to be in love with somebody though?
yeah, but how, yeah, exactly. How do you teach love?
Exactly. How do you
love
teach that?
I think he
is-
means like trying to teach love to go along with sex,
Well,
and not just to.
Tell us what you mean, Artie.
Yeah,
Well, on that same note, everybody's perspective of love is different.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Some people believe that sex has nothing to do with love. That's
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
you know, they okay with their partner going out and being like people who in open relationships.
Right.
Some people say, hey, you can sleep with as many people you want to. That don't mean
Right.
you love or dislove the person you with. Me, I don't share. I only like sharing my potato chips.
Right,
So I'm definitely
absolutely.
not sharing my woman.
Never have, never will.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Are we going to the second segment, or you want to keep going on this one?
No, I mean we can keep going. I think. What was I going to say? It's important to teach that when he mentioned the one person, or the monogamous relationships, that's important, but that's a challenge when you talk about young men and women, young boys and girls, or whatever.
Right.
Because we all went through high school.
culture has changed.
Yeah, and you listen to songs, you watch movies, all that stuff. Most of that doesn't promote monogamy and love and all that. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge. That's why it starts, like you said, minister, it starts at home.
Yep,
When
that's
we
right.
were little,
Make sure
when
they
I
have the
was
right
little,
love.
the songs talked about, you know, I want to love you, I want to be with you, I want to build this, that, and the other, I want a family with you. It's just going to be me and you against the world, things of that nature. Now it's F him if he rich.
Smash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's saying smash as many women as you possibly can.
Yeah.
She's saying, well, if he got money, then it's okay
Bust
to
a
have
wide
sex with
open.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to me, that's insane, because it's a lot more to a relationship than money. If that's all you're thinking about,
Yeah.
then you're missing a huge part of humanity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Love as in marriage and everlasting relationship. Everlasting. Y'all may not know about that. I'm sorry,
absolutely.
my bad.
Oh, man, Tony
I feel
Terry,
you on
stop
that one.
playing.
Tony Terry, boy! I'm impressed. I feel you on that one.
What is everlasting though? How long is everlasting?
Until you die.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the challenge. When somebody's 16, 17, good luck telling them to wait till something's everlasting.
Yeah.
Right?
When you 16, 17, and you in love, I mean, you just think you'll last
I was in
forever.
love a couple times.
You know the song, Make It Last Forever.
We're gonna try not to turn this into a 90s.
I'm just saying, hey, those songs were back in the day. Was the point. No, we had our sexual songs too, because Sexual Healing,
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, he wasn't playing no games.
Right, and then R. Kelly came in.
Yeah,
too. So.
I refuse to. If baby girl watching, I didn't say nothing about R. Kelly.
We'll cut that. We'll cut that back.
Man, R. Kelly said he was down to the soul. But oh my goodness, that R. Kelly done shook me. When I was talking about how deep should it go?
Yeah, how explicit should it be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people that don't know that if you participate in anal sex, then you can't go from anal to vaginal. That would give a woman all kind of infections and stuff because
Yeah,
there's bacteria and whatnot that's
absolutely.
in there that's not in there.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's certain stuff that needs to
Take
be
these
taught.
notes down. Don't
It
go.
needs to be taught. And then, you know, splunking or licking a girl's butt. I was told that happens
Yeah.
with dudes.
Yeah.
I can't see it. But
Right.
you know, whatever you into, do you. As long as it's
And I
two
think-
consenting adults,
Yeah.
do you. I ain't got no problem with it. As long as
Well, you
commit-
do know that it's against the law for anal sex. You cannot do it.
I'm kind of curious.
Hold on, wait,
you know, how they gonna
You
clear
cannot
that?
do it. You cannot have
So sodomy
anal
is
sex.
is
Absolutely.
illegal. Gotcha.
Absolutely. It's illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how
The whole
Even for
gay
married
trans
couples.
guy-
So-
so the whole gay
Yeah.
community.
I was gonna say something.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you get caught for that?
Exactly. How you
And what's the statute of limitations? I mean, asking for a friend.
There is it in it.
Okay, all right.
Wow, Lars, I'm new today.
Yeah, when I was studying to read up on it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know, and talked to a lot of lawyer friends of mine, and they said that in the state of Georgia, sodomy is against the law at every angle possible. Even married couples, or even if you are two consenting adults, you cannot do it.
Yeah, but how you can't
Cannot do it.
You
How
can't
do you
enforce that.
enforce that?
Yeah, that's
How do you-
that's an old school law that just makes sense because it's the
So-
Bible
Yeah.
Belt and
Yeah,
all
I
that.
guess the police are going to start,
Peeping through your windows.
Like, hey, you can't do that.
Okay, we need to
Yeah.
sit and watch because we got to make sure.
Turn her around, sir. But all jokes aside, though, I think another challenge would be to find a teacher that is comfortable.
Yeah.
Like they may not even be comfortable
teach
going
that.
deep into a topic like that with kids,
I don't
Especially if
think it
they're.
will be hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of teachers are. It's already hard enough to find good health teachers that'll speak about it in general.
Yeah.
Without
we
being
have too many kids per class. If you shorten down, we get 15 students per class per
Yeah.
teacher, then I think things will be able to be talked about.
And I couldn't agree with you
That
more.
peeking in the window.
Yeah.
My cousin Tamara just hit me up, said that. I feel you. I remember that
And
song.
my wife is a
Wow.
teacher, and she has 30 children to one teacher. In Gwinnett County, what they started doing, they started having one teacher to every 15 kids, because you got to understand, if you one teacher with 30 kids, you're not going to reach all 30 kids, and it's out of that 30 kids, there's 2 or 3 of those kids that need that extra attention that they cannot get with one teacher.
Well-
So they're failing, and they're falling alongside the road.
When you get 30 kids, you're going to have that 1 or 2 that sees that as an opportunity to act an ass.
And they do.
I mean, with 30 kids, you need a taser or something. You need a taser in the seat. Just
Yeah, that's too
sit
many.
your little bad ass.
That's too many.
You need 2 teachers in the room with 30 kids.
Right, because what happens if a fight breaks out?
You can't
And it's,
control that.
and everybody's,
I would let my kids
gather-
know from the beginning. If I was a teacher,
Yeah.
if you get in a fight, I hope you got a lunch because I ain't breaking up nothing. Y'all just going to have to fight
Hey.
until y'all get tired.
My wife just experienced that,
Somebody
and
bleed
they've
out.
been in school, and they've been in school
choked
2
out.
weeks now. And she had her first fight last week. And I said, sweetie, what did you do? She's like, I did the smart thing to do, call for the,
School.
absolutely. I was going to get in it, and she teaches 7th grade math, and these guys are like,
What you in middle school and high
Wait,
school? I ain't breaking up no fight.
Did you see that substitute teacher who pulled his belt off? Oh yeah, they was fighting, 2 boys fight. He pulled his belt off, started swinging, popping them little boys on the butt with his belt.
How old was
They
that?
broke it up. He was an older cat.
No, I'm talking about how old were the students?
It's hard to tell on the internet. But 11, 12.
I thought you meant
But
high school.
parents were tripping. Hey, I would have gave him some kind of award.
Yeah,
Parents
you
was
can't do that nowadays,
"Hey,
man."
Okay, can't.
yeah.
Miss Strickland, one of them who, with
Yeah.
kids too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can't.
There's
That's-
also a law in Georgia that forbids interracial marriage, but it is not enforced. It's just on the books. I didn't know that
I
either.
didn't know that either.
Hey, you
Interracial
can't know
marriage.
that. I'm a nerd, so I'm going to look up what both of y'all said. 'Cause I just don't believe it
Absolutely.
myself, but that's
Interracial marriage.
Yeah. Wow. I know there was a lawyer in a judge in Mississippi who would not marry interracial couples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was told that there
still
was
worried about
a
that.
cake store
Yeah.
that wouldn't,
All this stuff
that
going
wouldn't
on.
sell like
Yeah.
wedding cakes to gay people.
I remember that story. Yes, I remember that story.
I mean, if it's a privately owned business, they can
Yeah.
do that if they want.
Discrimination is illegal.
Discrimination, absolutely. That's
You
what
can't
I
say
was
that.
going to say.
You can say,
Discrimination
yeah.
is illegal.
I understand
because
that, but
just
it-
like they can say that, you can say, well, I don't want to sell no store to no black people.
Well, they can make it whatever reason they want and not sell it to them.
You remember the movie Life?
They can say, we don't feel like y'all will treat this cake right. Whatever. They can say whatever they want.
You remember the movie
I mean, they
Life?
can't say
That's
because you're gay, but
Yes.
they can make up a
Yes.
different reason
Yeah.
and not sell it to gay
You
people.
remember the movie Life when Martin wanted a piece of that apple pie?
Well, what is it?
When Martin wanted a piece of pie.
Oh, Life.
And she
Yeah.
told him.
need
Yeah, she wouldn't sell it to him.
So how about I turn you on and make a pie?
Yes.
These are whites only pie. Okay. We don't spend time. Let's go for a second.
Yeah, that was, so we're already into it.
Yeah.
We're already
Okay.
into it. It's basically the, how explicit should sex education be and when should it be taught? So we're already into it.
Okay.
pretty
It's
much.
illegal, but there are enough other things in place that make it possible. I feel you on that one.
What's that? Oh, that's a, what is
Yeah,
that?
that's my cousin Tamara. She said
Uh-huh.
it's illegal, but there are enough other things in place that make it possible. I don't know what enough other things are, but I know that if somebody was to even try to look at my woman, then we're gonna have a lot of problems. I'm probably gonna get like some serious time. So I can't imagine them coming in my room trying to tell me and her what to do.
Yeah, it's pretty unenforceable.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you say look at her,
He's talking about her
See
Oh,
her
okay,
name, see
okay,
her
okay,
in her
okay,
birthday suit.
okay.
That- I'm not with that
Okay.
at all, and I would get violent. I'm just
Okay,
being honest.
yeah. I feel the same
Yeah,
way.
I ain't with it. That's
Yeah, I
for
think
my
I
eyes
think
only.
we can speak for most of us and say we're
Yeah.
uncomfortable
Oh,
with that.
regarding discrimination, I feel you on that one. That's what he was saying. He was like, that's what he was saying.
What?
I ain't gonna put on no names. But she said regarding discrimination, there are enough other things in place that make it possible.
Right.
Yeah, you right on that one. They can discriminate, but if they get caught, then
Right.
because Donald Trump used to do that to black people. He was
Still
telling people that,
doing it.
That there are no rooms available in his places,
Yeah.
or he would tell them the rent is so much higher than it really was.
Right.
To discourage anybody of color living in his places.
Right.
Yeah. As far as discrimination go, how far do we go as far as education?
Well,
But I think. Oh, go ahead, Zaka.
nah, I was just gonna say, as far as education, I don't know how far they should go, but at the same time, I feel like nowadays, with social media and the phones and stuff like that, I feel like kids are already being, exploitatory. Like they're already looking at it. They can easily just pick up their phone and
Got easy access to it.
go to a porn website or watch certain pictures or videos on social media. So it's like,
Well, I don't know if my dad knows, but he's about to know. I used to sneak and watch his VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Just being real, I mean.
Yeah.
Man, I used to wish it was something available in my house. I had to go to my buddies or my cousin's house
Yeah.
and try to check their stuff back.
Yeah.
Couldn't find none. My dad must have hid it pretty
Yeah.
well.
And then when you young and dumb, and everybody around you young and dumb, y'all all trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
It's easy to talk females into it
Yeah,
at that point
yeah.
in time. Because people don't talk to their daughters, and
Yeah.
females are just as curious as males.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so
someone this
easy.
morning.
It's so easy now that you can meet a woman or a girl online. Hey, send me one of those pictures. You know what
True
picture
that.
I'm talking
All they
about.
gotta do is say,
Hey, guess what? You getting it.
Right.
You are getting it.
If you put, these days, if you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
a challenge with anything,
Yeah.
people just flock to it.
Challenge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Butt naked challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like butt naked pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are like,
thing
shit.
challenge.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jerry Thompson is watching. Hey, I hope the whole firehouse watching, bro. Appreciate you up there in New York.
Yeah.
Yonkers up in New York. Yeah, we was in the military together. That boy could fix
Hey,
anything.
Jerry.
I'm telling you, Jerry, he can fix everything. Yeah. Hey, that plane over there, both of the engines off, and it flies in 4 hours. Oh, I got you. Don't worry. Okay, got you.
But to circle back to about the kids and the education, like we talked about before, I think since every kid has a different level of understanding,
Exactly.
and
Right.
even in the same grades or whatever, I think that's one of the dilemmas to talk about it in depth because you
Right.
have to talk to everybody.
That's
You
right.
have to talk to the least acceptable mind or whatever. You know what I mean? So you have to think about
Their maturity level.
right.
Yeah.
It could be 16-year-olds that are mature enough to handle everything about it.
Right.
It could be some that are 15 in the same grade that can't,
Right.
that will take the wrong way and it'll be negative.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. That's the dilemma for the teachers and for the administration, I think.
And you go to high schools and you got 12 and 13-year-old girls that are pregnant, walking around pregnant.
12 and 13.
Like you
drop
said,
down and 10.
absolutely. The high schools are looking like maternity wards now.
Exactly.
A lot of pregnancy.
I was watching, I'm not sure what I was watching, but the question came out, how old were you? It's a predominantly female site, and it was how old were you the first time you were touched sexually? When I tell you, I literally started crying when them women were saying 3, 4,
Wow.
5. It blew my mind. I had no idea
Right.
how common it is. I thought that stuff like that happened. It
Right.
just happened, few and far between.
Right.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, it is sick.
For women and men?
Yes.
Right.
No, it was mostly well,
Yeah.
the site I was on, Red Table
Oh,
Talk.
okay.
Yeah,
The site I
absolutely.
was on, it was
okay.
mostly women. But when I tell you 3 and 4, 5, come on, seriously?
Yeah.
4? What kind of 4-year-old? Really? You got to be a sick bastard.
Yeah. Speak
I
up.
digress.
Speak
It's
it.
true.
Yeah. Speak up.
If a grown man touches a child, I have no problem with the death penalty.
Right.
If it's my
Right,
child, I have
right,
no problem
right,
with carrying
right.
it out myself.
And the thing about it, it's happening every 10 seconds or lesser, throughout this country.
Sex education doesn't need to be explicit to make our children safe. It's important to provide real information. even regarding sending and receiving explicit photos, even between teenagers, is considered child pornography. I saw that.
Yeah.
Children need to be taught those things
that
as
as
well
well.
as the biology of sex. Now, I was talking about more the biology of sex, but then when I thought about it, with everything that's going on and all the information going out, it may need to be explicit. And I do feel you on that. Biology of the human body needs to be done first, and then sex, in my opinion. Because I can only talk for my opinion. I can't, and I don't try to enforce my opinion on nobody.
Right.
But I feel you on that. And Jerry, I see you say you off, so still hit us up and tag people on Facebook or something. Let them know we out there. I feel you on that, Tamara. Yeah. It has to be taught.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion,
that's disturbing though to hear that though.
I still think that I'm always saying, please look out for our women and children.
Right.
We got to look out for our women and children because the world is sick, and it's not a thing to where the world is getting sick. The world has been sick. We just didn't have the media to go out and tell everybody. But now that we do, hey, I don't care if it's family member, brother, cousin, whatever, family friend, whatever, it needs to be told. It doesn't need to be hidden. A lot of women, they feel ashamed and stuff and don't talk about it for years and feel like they're low up a person or something like that because of some nonsense that happened to them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The ready availability of porn now gives kids unrealistic expectations when it comes to sex. I feel you on that one too, because if
That's
average
the biggest
kid think that sex is like those porn things.
And that's the biggest difference from when we were coming up.
Yeah.
How readily available and easy porn is to get to access. We had to like sneak around, find a magazine, find a VHS. Now, if you got a phone and there's no restrictions, you got it in a minute.
I don't know too many teenagers' phone that have parental or parental.
Yeah, once you're so old, your parents probably don't even.
Parental, what do they call parental?
Restrictions.
Restrictions. On the phone. They can get to it
Once you get
anywhere.
driving, you 16 or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You probably don't restrict your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a shame because
a lot of times parents think that children don't know things because of their age.
Right.
They don't say it.
My
what
daughter,
they know.
my daughter, I want to say she was 9 or 10, and my ex was like, "You think she know about sex?" I said, "She goes to public school. Of course she knows
Of
about
course she does. Absolutely. May
She
not
was
talk
like,
about
"Whatever."
it.
And then she started asking her questions, and when my daughter was answering them, I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
Exactly."
Yeah.
It's
So she
eye-opening,
made
bro.
sure she got books, and
Absolutely.
talked to my younger daughters earlier.
Right.
Because school kids, they talk, and they talk some of the dumbest stuff.
most
they learn
certainly
from their
do.
brothers and sisters and
Right.
friends and this, that, and the other, because people don't know. But you get that itch, that urge.
In this day and time, when we were coming up, grandmothers used to be 60 and 70 years old. When you have 38-year-old grandmothers and 40-year-old grandmothers, then that lets you know right then that the sexual appetite that human beings has accepted in this society is far greater than it was when I was 13, 10. Absolutely. Grandparents now.
Girls still got pregnant. They just went to the country when they got pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They was having abortions quicker too back then.
Yeah.
Get pregnant, go get an abortion. Parents can get an abortion, boyfriend can get an abortion, just go get an abortion.
Yeah, we got to go to break.
Absolutely.
We'll be back in a second to continue this conversation. Thank you all for tuning in and keep coming at us. We love the comments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office, come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck, and our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. At a sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today at one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
What's up, family? Welcome back to the Talk Show Kings. Want to give a shout out to our executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. We have a special guest with us today from DC, Miss Nikki from
Lightwork Nikki Show,
Lightwork
guys.
Nikki Show up in DC. She's with us to discuss our last two topics.
Yes,
And we just want a different perspective, so we brought someone in who can give us a female's perspective. Our next topic.
The next topic is going to be a little bit more serious topic. It's about child sex trafficking. Law enforcement is trying to crack down on it, but it's still running rampant. It still seems like it's increasing instead of decreasing. So we just want to get everybody's perspective on that.
When they talk about child sex trafficking, remember the number one thing is if you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
Because there's nowhere in no big goodness that it should be $1 billion industry for child sex trafficking.
It's sad.
It's sick.
Right.
I mean,
It tells you what kind of
Epstein was
morals is
caught,
driving people, right?
And Epstein committed suicide, they say. I believe Epstein was about to start talking, like, he got rabbititis in the mouth.
I believe that also
They killed
as
him
well.
Because he had $1 billion
He committed homicide.
Yeah, exactly.
on himself.
And you see that guy who they said was coming at him? Dude looked like he was,
Yeah.
his neck looked like he ate people. It was humongous. I was like, whoa. Oh, Artie brought up a great point. I wanted to bring that out on our last topic. We were talking about, children having phone and whatnot.
Right.
Artie said the main problem is these parents that try to justify their children needing their privacy. Unless you're paying bills and working, bringing in an income, you get no privacy in my house. I feel you like that. Again, America is a democracy. My house is a dictatorship, and I'm the archbishop. Therefore, you get outside. If you want your opinion, your rules, how you feel, all that is cool outside my house.
Yeah.
When you come in my house, then follow my rules or go outside my house. Two options. It ain't hard to,
And you should be able to monitor your kids. You should be able to watch your kids.
For sure.
And a lot of parents that don't. Absolutely. Through work and careers, what I find out is speaking to a lot of parents, they don't exercise the right and the option to monitor their children. So the children just sporadically out there.
Exactly.
In media, in social media.
But
you
I
should know
think
this
it's
for
also
yourself.
the upbringing as well too, though.
Yeah, it
because you gotta
starts there.
think about
That's
that,
where it starts.
Because a lot of times the parents treat the kids the way that they was being treated.
Uh-huh.
So if they was raised in a household where as though they was able to lock the doors with their parents, their kids doing that to them, they don't feel no type of way. So I
Right.
just really think it's a mentality.
Right.
I thought that, my thought process is people try to do different than what they were brought up. Because
Not a lot of people though. Let's
half
be real.
different.
I mean, I
I
seriously
do
did.
too.
Uh-huh.
So guarantee he do. You, I mean, all of
Try to
us.
do. I'm saying try to do different.
Yeah, of
like my
course.
daughter cut school once. I didn't beat my daughter for cutting school.
Mm-hmm.
Next day when she went to school, she came home. The door was gone off her room. all her
Absolutely.
clothes-
Take it off your head.
She had three
That's how you do that.
She had 3 white shirts and 3 pair of jeans. I told her if your clothes get dirty, I'm not washing jack. You
Yeah.
don't go to school dirty, but you going to school every
Uh-huh.
day. And if you cut again, then I'm taking more stuff.
And she never
The
cut
TV,
again.
Never again that I know
Absolutely.
of. TV was gone, the PlayStation,
Yeah.
keyboard, all that. Even
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
she had like,
Yeah.
I didn't mess with her underclothes.
Right.
But everything, everything else gone.
But a lot of parents, to go back to that, they kind of think out of sight, out of mind. So if the kid's in their room, not bothering nobody, they don't worry about what they're doing. But that's the mistake. 'Cause
That's
then you
what they're
find
doing
out-
the most
Yeah, you
damage.
find out 4, 5, 6
Absolutely.
months later what they've been going through.
Yeah.
and It could be anything
Communication
from.
is most definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. You can't
You
just
walk
let them be
around the
alone
house 6
because
months pregnant.
Kids don't
Right,
have the same
exactly.
stresses and the same problems that we have, but they do have their own world, their own society
Yeah.
that
Peer
they're going
pressure.
through. And if you,
Lot of
you know,
stuff.
if you think, well, you ain't got bills, so you ain't got no problem, you got
Sure.
problems.
Oh, it's tough. Middle school, high
Kid
school.
have-
Yeah.
Your
Kids
kid
get
have a
vicious.
whole world.
Absolutely.
that they're going through
Yeah.
Peer
there.
pressure is no
Yeah.
joke. We all been
No
through it.
joke.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. You can send your kids to school with Jordans and $300 pants, $500
Yeah.
shirts.
But
and
it
all
don't-
that kind of
it don't
stuff, and
matter.
still,
Now let me ask you a question.
on that
When you was going through high school, did you experience any peer pressure? Bullying, so to speak?
Did anybody not experience
You mean
it?
bullying like bullying
Peer
children?
pressure. Peer pressure. I never did experience it.
You never experienced it?
Never
Wow.
experienced peer pressure.
I did. Big
As
deal.
far as like
I was a
drinking
jock
and-
in high school.
You mean like
You know-
as far as like drinking, smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
As
that's-
far as
that's
everything, though, really. You know,
absolutely.
because in my school, that people dressed a certain way. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So if you didn't have the clothes or the money for the clothes, then, you were picked on.
And it's different
Yeah.
for males and females. Like I'm sure yours was a lot different than.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, but I'm a leader, so I can't speak from nobody else's experience but mine. But,
Right.
On the outside looking in and seeing some of my friends and some of the encounters I may have possibly had with people, they always wanted to be in with the in crowd.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
absolutely.
the in crowd could have been, like you said, just the Persucos,
Yeah.
to the back.
Right.
Yeah, look, my DC people didn't know what I'm saying when I said Persucos, but those like Sergiagos and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Did they have them down
Sergio
south?
who?
Like you talking about Sabiato?
Our age differences are a lot
Yeah.
different. And,
Okay.
I probably was in the military with Sukiako.
Can you get those at Walmart?
You're not allowed to wear them anymore.
Yeah. We didn't have Walmart when I was coming up. Yeah, K-Bars and Roses.
Rosie's still around.
Hey, there was this little place downtown Atlanta by 5 Points.
I know what you're talking
right
about.
in the corner. And it's still there.
ATL Green, they had Green,
it's
Kessler.
never- Nah.
Remember Kessler?
Yeah, I remember Kessler, but
Yeah.
the same spot I'm talking about. It was a little bitty store, and they just had like jeans and stuff folded all up. I used to go there.
Waltons?
Waltons, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
That's a loud
Back in the
one.
middle.
Mr. Walton there with the store
I
now.
feel you on that one. Hey, we had little to no true privacy in my mom's house. I know Auntie crazy, still. There was no such thing in my room as my room. Mom walked in whenever.
Right.
Walters, yep, Walters, and you right.
Yeah,
Walters.
absolutely.
My auntie, my cousin's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no privacy.
Nah, it wasn't a whole lot of that.
Privacy.
Yeah, no
your
privacy,
room.
yeah.
Your room
Yeah.
is in your house.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
You pay a bill, so until
Yeah,
then.
my father would let us close no doors, period.
Oh, my dad didn't have
No
a problem with
doors.
closing the doors.
Uh-huh.
Just that
No
anytime
doors.
It can open and you
Yeah.
cannot say nothing.
I had all the privacy.
My mother came with the belt just to see what was going on.
Absolutely.
It was
I'd have been traumatized. Go to the belt
She
every
didn't
time.
play no games at all. So, I mean, it was real, man.
I can't lie.
imagine that.
I can't lie. My mom was pretty cool. I ain't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
That's why you bad now.
Should have got book more.
See, there was 7 of us, so there was no privacy. No
There was how many?
privacy. 7 of us.
That's a
And
lot
I was
of
a twin, so it was no privacy.
Oh man,
Yeah.
was it identical?
We were fraternal.
Oh, okay.
He died
So
when we
you
were
tell him.
10.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My
Okay, thank you.
condolences.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no privacy in that house.
Yeah. Oh, back to the child sex trafficking thing. That was what I
Yes,
was.
yes,
let's,
yes.
let's get back down.
Yes.
Now, a lot of it happens. I've learned overseas. A lot of it happens. Parents sell their children
Yeah.
into sex trafficking. Like they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know they're selling their children into
Yeah.
that, but they're basically selling their children for money. And whomever buys the child
Mm-hmm.
does basically whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
And
told
it's
that.
sad. It's
Yeah.
really, really sad.
Yeah.
I don't mean to chime in too much, but you know, I was on my
No,
way
feel free,
here
go ahead.
on a bus, on my travels down here, and I seen a situation that I felt like could have possibly been of that nature. It was a lady, looked like she wasn't the parent of the kids. The kids was 2 and 1. They looked like Latino kids. And she was
Right.
a Caucasian woman. The kids had on diapers, soggy diapers, like a regular dingy shirt, no shoes. The bottom of their feet, when I say was like completely dirty, like as if they've been walking for days like that, okay? And mind you, I'm in this bus station, Greyhound bus station, and it's over 50-something people, and everybody seen it, and no one said anything. As a mother and as a woman, I could not sit there. I was actually boarding my bus when this lady walked in, guys, and sat down, and I had to stop the bus driver. I said, look, it's an emergency. I cannot sit back and watch this. I had to pull the bus driver in with me, like, look, we're doing a human resource up in the front. And by the grace of the Lord, he had patience. And he allowed me to talk to the representatives and tell them what was going on. And I told them, you know, like, look, I'm reporting Child Protective Service. Y'all need to make sure y'all do this right now. Because just think about it. All those people, and I was the only one that chose to say something.
And that's the main problem, because people aren't comfortable, you know, butting in,
Right.
butting into people's.
Yeah.
If you think it's
business.
if they're kids, nobody wants to try and
Yeah.
butt into
Wants to
the.
mind their own business and not.
Right.
It was sad.
But
I
it's hard when
cried
it's
for
kids,
a
you
nice
can't just
little
run.
while, y'all, on that bus.
If you
Yeah.
take social psychology, they teach the larger the crowd, the less chances of somebody
Noticing.
reacting. Some
Yeah.
noticing,
Yeah.
people notice it, but
Yeah.
less chance of somebody saying something. The
Yeah.
larger the crowd.
Oh, I
which is
wasn't
crazy.
raised that way. I was raised, if something ain't going on, you better say something, because
Yeah.
if you don't, you're going to get spanked.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Durante says many of them do know. That's sad and pathetic if somebody knows what
Yeah,
they're,
that's terrible.
what they're putting their child through, because the child's body is not ready for sex. I mean,
At all, for
Yeah.
a long
and-
shot.
and I don't know about most men's genitalia, and I'm not trying to say anything, but personally, I know that a female under a certain age is just not ready for the size of
Yeah.
an average man, I would think.
It's
You know?
disgusting in
I
general.
mean,
Right.
yeah, so you're,
Yeah, like, where's your mind?
you're
Like-
hurting the child.
Yeah.
You're hurting the child, and not only you're hurting the child physically, you're hurting the child's mind.
Right. You're
Why can't
ruining the
child
child.
have
You're
it when-
destroying them
Yeah,
their
why
whole
can't the child
entire
have
life
that
before they
time
get a
to
chance.
just
Right.
play on the
Rest of their
part?
life, that
Absolutely.
They have to be right for sexual.
And that's the last thing that a pedophile is even concerned or thinking about. It's that pure satisfaction
Yeah.
that they are obtaining during that pleasurable moment.
But you know
$1 billion
what?
industry.
Absolutely.
But you know what's so
Absolutely.
sad right now is the
Yeah.
fact of the matter that they're trying to actually, I think I sat back and watched something, and they was trying to pass pedophiles as like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
and
saw
it's like-
a something said the something for men and boy love, and they were trying to normalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a-
exactly.
there's a-
That's what they trying
Yeah.
to do.
There's an acronym for it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I know it's definitely they're trying to make it normal. I mean,
And
they
it's
normalize
far
it.
from normal at all.
Yeah, oh yeah, that, yeah.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
like you said, they're trying to, you know, control the mind of the younger person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
not just physically, but they want to make sure that they
Yeah.
have them
Can
thinking
keep
a
the
certain way.
narrative out.
Yeah.
Because once you make things normalized, once society accepts it, then it's quote unquote okay. That's why
Yeah.
discrimination is lasted really so long, because the
It's just been something that's
African-American
normal in the-
was
yeah.
taught was normalized as a mindless Neanderthal. So anything that happens to them, well, they deserve it because they're brainless brutes.
And it's sad because I really just feel like it's way deeper than the government. It's really a spiritual warfare that we're sitting back and dealing with this stuff. You know, because truly they're sacrificing these kids for whatever growth or purpose of what they want for their money. And it's really,
absolutely
really sad
money.
because they're making the people feel like this is normal and it's okay. I said it, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, they don't want to speak the truth, nor do they want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
But long as we stand together and be united and speak value of what's going on, that's the only way it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
Have you noticed the amount of people that are coming together now? Black, white, young, old, so on and so forth. Everybody's coming together on these causes. So, you know, he's talking about making America great again. I'm not talking about him, but he's talking about it. And I think he is, because he's making more people realize how messed up things are and making people band together.
Right.
So few people care about black, white, this, that, and the other. We care about right and wrong.
Exactly.
If you're doing wrong, we coming for you. We band together and we coming for you because we tired of the nonsense.
And guess what? Our kids is our innocence. Our kids is our innocence.
There were two little boys, a little African American and a little Caucasian boy, and they were best friends. They went to the barber and got similar haircuts, so the teacher wouldn't be able to tell them apart. If that is not the cutest, whatever, but that innocence. You know what I'm saying? Don't ruin that. Don't take that from them with your BS.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, all the nonsense is taught. It's
Exactly.
not, you're not born
With your
a racist. and all that.
Exactly. Hey, thank you,
Yeah.
Brittany. My sister is watching, and NC, thank you. We appreciate you watching. Chime in, let us know what you're thinking. But
I believe that.
the whole nonsense, and children have that innocent spirit, and if a child is crying, another child will go to them and try to console them and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Why are we taking that from them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because of the experience of the adults.
Absolutely.
They try to pass
If you
on
are
those-
sold for a profit by someone that has raised you for 7, 8 years, someone who you entrusted, someone who you love, and now they are selling you as a parent, how can that child respond to that?
Right, the
He
whole
can't.
life is really on that.
Absolutely.
And then
You know,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Psyche. What's that doing for their
Right.
self-esteem?
Right.
They're not gonna trust
because
them.
you know
Right.
what it does is, I'm sorry,
you got
but it makes,
Stop being sorry, man.
Yeah.
you know, I'm stepping in y'all territory, so I'm trying to tiptoe a little bit.
Don't come in here and walk, stomp with the big dog.
But
This is
you
that
know,
platform.
I really feel like it's a repetitive cycle, and it's a root that has to be broken in general, because this has started beyond us. It started,
definitely.
you know,
yeah.
way back
Yeah.
when during slavery.
and it's gonna
something.
continue.
It was really imposed on us by the people of other cultures and nations and whatever, so forth. So that's where it started, and they bring it to our world, bring it to the people that held innocence.
I don't think it started there. I think it was
Yeah.
going before that. I think that,
But,
you know,
yeah.
and people, when we talk about us, African Americans,
Right.
a lot of us think or seem to start us as slavery. We had history way before then.
Way
That's what
before
I'm saying,
then.
Things were
before y'all.
things were going on that's crazy way before then. We're not taught about it, but it is. I mean,
But what she's saying is, and I understand what you're saying, we're perpetuating the cycle.
exactly.
And when you perpetuate the cycle, it's a continuation of what has already started.
And what I'm saying is
Absolutely.
what people are responding to
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
What people are saying is
yeah.
BS, and we're not going to stand.
Because we have these
And that's what we gotta
platforms
do.
now.
Exactly.
Even this Talk Show King platform, even your platform.
Right.
If we use these platforms to get our point across and never step down from what you believe in. And I'll say this right here. It's okay to taste success, but don't swallow it because you become full of yourself.
I saw somebody say that money makes a person turn into the person they really are.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
Okay, if you really are a pedophile and you know it, seek help.
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
seek kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because not only are you ruining their lives, you have to realize that something is wrong with you. I'm not saying that I am saying something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if you're attracted to a 12, 13, 14,
Yeah,
whatever year
yeah.
old child,
Yeah,
and you know that you are,
yeah.
I'm not saying that you're wrong in that attraction. I'm saying you're wrong if you try to act on it. I'm saying that you need to go to some kind of counseling or something and see if there's something that can
Well,
be
I'm
done.
saying you're
Absolutely.
wrong
Yeah.
with the attraction in general.
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
I don't think that
Period.
you. I don't know if people
Absolutely.
can control their attractions.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say if
So
they're
you
not.
sick.
It's more mental than anything.
Sick
More
regardless.
mental than anything.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Right.
from the
That's why I say try to get help about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
No,
I
I
got
could-
a little girl and I got 2 little boys.
Absolutely.
I might look like I'm 20 or something, y'all.
Right.
Don't get it twisted.
No,
I
you
got,
right.
I got a 6. Look, I got a 6-year-old, which is my
Right.
oldest boy. I got a 4-year-old little girl, and I have a 1-year-old.
Right.
And I look at it like this: at the end of the day,
Right.
one thing for certain, 2 things for
Protect
sure.
them
If
children.
anybody that I'm around
Right.
to look too hard at my kids,
Right.
Feel you on that one.
some
Absolutely.
type of way. So
Right.
it is a sickness.
Yeah,
regardless.
absolutely.
It is.
And they're seeing it now because it's wide open. When I was coming up to see something that even was sexual active, you had to go to National Geographic. You know, National Geographic book, it showed the African women with no bra and stuff on. That's how we got our National Geographic. On one of them books, you would see Shaka Zulu in there, you know, with no bra. That was our Playboy, National Geographic, you know.
National Geographic. Oh my gosh.
It's a real Playboy. One of the Playboy that fit houses. That's all.
I think we're gonna have to start putting some A's on the table.
Cause he and I were all the same age. So I wonder what hey, we just. Hey, just because you're in the same age don't mean you're
Absolutely, you know.
Mine wasn't having it though.
Absolutely, yeah.
If my pops had known what I was doing, then I'm pretty sure it may have gone differently. But I say may have. But after that first taste, it didn't really matter.
Yes, yes.
You can't beat 20. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say once you get that first taste,
Yeah, once you get, yeah.
good luck
it is.
slowing that train down.
Yeah.
for the
Hey,
next
Angie.
40 years.
Yeah, I feel you on that 40 shoot until I start taking that dirt nap, counting flowers from the roots. Then I, don't think
Yeah.
I'm gonna ever not
Don't
be
ever
attracted to
stop.
my female. I'm just saying.
You're supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the right man thing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's right.
My female is a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to mess with nobody, kids or nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean,
You ain't
I'm
no
all
R.
for
Kelly out here
protect
now.
your woman and children. R. Kelly is
Yeah.
reachable. I don't understand how that happened, especially for that
Yeah.
amount of time. I mean, I just don't get it.
Like
I
you
guess he didn't run
said,
across
that's a
the road.
prime example of the situation that we're speaking about. How you got the pedophiles out here that's doing things for money, and because they are getting money and they having money, people are willing to give their kids to them, like the Leah situation. How you get married off at 15, 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are looking at it because
It
of
was
Absolutely.
illegal. She lied, and her
And-
parents made them know
And
that.
the parents
absolutely.
went right along with it.
No, Leah's parents didn't go along
They
with that.
didn't?
No, Leah's parents had made them know that. And R. Kelly's reachable. And I cannot imagine a man coming at my child like that. And we got to come at break, which I hate to do, especially
Absolutely.
right now.
I know,
But right
you're
now, I'm
good,
going to get into
right?
the pistol talk. Because I'm just saying, if you are reachable, if I can see you, if I can come close enough to where that 4-5 will hit you and you mess with my child, it's on.
And
Put me in jail, put me in jail, do whatever you want
Out
to do.
Hollywood.
But,
Talk about it.
I'm playing no game, my kids. Hey, we got to go to break. We'll be back in a second.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com. And we thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved.
I love our theme music, fam. Hey, you rappers out there, somebody get that beat and throw us a little talk show song, you know, the talk show king song. Cause yeah, when that beat come on, I be in here.
We need one too.
I might got a couple in it.
Well, let it take hey, you know, we can throw that bass in there and make it, you know, boom when I'm going down the road. We were talking about pedophiles, right? So we on a serious subject. My cousin just chimed in and said, I spoke with the pedophile in depth. He explained to me what pedophilia was. He explained that as was stated that the attraction to a child-like features was pedophilia, is what pedophilia really is, and that most do not act on it, or they date people that have childish features. At any rate, it is the acting on the desire that is wrong. The man had been treated for his disorder and explained that there is a treatment for it. He mentioned programs similar to AA that kept him in line. I feel you on that, and that's what I was saying, because I don't know if a person can really control what they're attracted to. But there are I don't want to say that. There are
What you about to
people
say?
who, I was going to say flat men and women. There are men who are not well endowed. There are women who are not well endowed. Who, you know, if that's what you're attracted to, you know.
Right, but that's where the problem comes in. You have to be able, in your mind, you have to be able to say, to know the age and somehow shut that off in your mind, move to the next one. You can't just say, well, that's what I'm attracted to. That's when there comes a problem.
But you go with that. They have pictures on these dating sites. You know what I'm saying? You can find somebody who looks not well developed if that's what you're into.
That's what starts off physical anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. Starts off physical.
All that mental stuff initially that's BS. When I look down the street, I don't see a woman's mind. I don't see how I see her figure, her shape. Exactly. So you know, and men for the most part are visual creatures.
Right.
Brittany, my sister, great span view to see everyone conversing and react. Man, say something. I thought you were going to say something, Brittany. Really? My sister, I thought you were going to spend some knowledge or something.
But for real, but to touch on that just for a second, not to get off topic too much, there is like you said, we're physical creatures as males in general. There is a vibe thing though, because I have been in a situation where I'm physically attracted to somebody and you start talking right away, you're like, it ain't work.
I feel you on that one.
So the physical attraction first, but if something doesn't come with that pretty soon, you don't even, for me, I don't
I mean, Legos, silly putty versus...
Yeah, child, right?
But it's just
What's the
not,
conversation about?
You know, I'll say, it's just not men in general, period. Women are the same way, too. We're physically attracted first, too. So, like, let's not chime us out.
How can I get that woman's perspective?
Because that is a misconception, I think, that women are...
Yeah, you know, we keep it in the bag real good. You know, we don't show our colors too much.
More and more women, or you see more and more teachers talking about, or you see more and more teachers getting with these high school boys.
Right.
When I was in school, I'm just saying. I mean, you didn't see that. I didn't promote it.
See, he's saying it is different. See, that's where that double standard is.
I will be the first to admit that I have a double standard. I'm just being real. With me, shit. My baby is coming home, and my 17-year-old son has the captain of the cheerleading team, has her on the couch and they doing their thing. I'm grabbing baby girl, all right, let's go get some ice cream. Being real.
Yeah.
Same scenario. If my 17-year-old daughter had the captain of the football team,
You'd be ready to knock.
click, click. You finna die. I hope your mama got that black dress.
Or insurance policy.
And I think a lot of men are like that.
Yeah, that qualifies as
A lot of men like that.
I'm not saying it's
Absolutely.
right or indifferent, but it's real.
It
I'm
is.
just saying,
And that's the
Rob,
world
thanks,
that we're
Skip.
living in, though. You
Yeah.
know, it is very real. But it still doesn't make a difference. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Ain't that's how you started?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Because, but it is true though that women go off of physical being, and women are just as nasty as the men are. Don't get it
It's-
twisted.
She would come in and wreck shop either way.
Right,
Ain't no doubt
and,
about
and
it.
that's
She
that's
would
that's
kick-
the that's the
Yeah.
women.
She
We don't
would kick
see
tail
the
either
difference
way.
is us as women. We have more open. We're very more open minded. So how you are willing to say it's okay, son, and it's not all right, daughter. We like neither one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean and that's where the nourishing part comes in, and that's where the balance comes
Right.
in as a real woman. You feel me? You let the man go ahead, you be the
I feel
Right.
like men and women together are such a powerful entity.
Oh yeah, it is.
A man and a woman together.
Together.
Our
Yeah.
thought processes are so
Yeah.
different.
But
You
that's-
got everything
you get
covered,
them
yeah.
together though. Oh my goodness.
Very
Yeah.
strong.
Oh my goodness.
Very strong.
Exactly.
And a lot of times when you get those two, and I'm gonna use the term alpha male and alpha female,
There we go.
they normally are bump heads because one want to be stronger than the other.
Exactly.
But
And it used to be a
the real
time where
woman
women,
understand when it's time for you to submit.
Exactly.
Time for
It
you
used to be a
to submit.
time where a woman would take the back seat to the man. Now, in this new way of life, no, the woman feel like I'm just as equal as you are.
Listen,
I'm just as equal as you
some
are.
hunters out here that
Exactly.
are natural born hunters, and some men get intimidated by natural born hunters. That's
I don't
big
know about all that
difference.
hunter stuff.
Yeah.
But
What you
I will say this: there are times when I think that she knows more than me about a certain topic or a certain area, or she's better to deal with something.
Right.
Because I have learned that I'm angry all the time. I have an anger issue. That's the truth. I go to counseling for it. But I know that that's not the best way to deal with every
Right.
situation.
Right.
So, some situations I need to sit back and let her handle it.
Reevaluate.
Yeah, and if she
Because she
if
has
she
more of
don't
a
want to handle
gentle
it,
touch.
can't
Yeah,
handle it.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
sometimes a lot of
whatever.
situations needs that gentle
Yes.
touch.
And some
You don't always have to be
don't need to
aggressive.
start kicking ass.
You know,
Some need that.
yeah, some call for that.
Got to
There's
pick and
some.
choose your battles.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You know,
You do. You
And
have to
this
choose
this
your battles
topic in
life.
general is most definitely a pick
Yeah.
and choose battle type of topic, because at the end of the day, they're trying to make it seem like you can pick and choose whether or not it's okay to live with pedophiles, and I just can't wrap it around my head. Every
Well, let me
time
ask you
I
this
hear
question right here, if you don't mind me cutting in.
Uh-huh.
And you're a mother, or you're a single mother?
Yes, as a man.
Okay. what time slot do you allow, if you're just meeting a guy, what's the time amount that you would give before you let him meet your children?
Well, I'll say first and foremost, before I go too far-fetched, I have to have a connection with that person, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Right.
But normally it takes me at least 6 months, close to a year,
Wow.
before I allow
Right.
anybody in front of my kids, let alone
Right.
in my personal
Right.
space and in front of my kids.
Right.
So I try to wing any type of relationship in
Right.
first,
Right.
and then the way that my lifestyle is in general, I have to be mindful.
Right. Because I've been in situations way before I got married, and I've met women and met the child the next day.
Yeah, I've been in those situations.
Very next day.
But it's some women
You
that's
know,
just too
very
comfortable
next
with
day.
doing that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
but like I said, but prior in the conversation earlier, it's about your upbringing though, because
Mm-hmm.
like with my mother, we was raised in a household where as though you don't jump from man to man. If you
Right.
do it, you do it behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? But you don't do it in front of your kids.
Right.
If that man comes in front of that child, guess what? That's your uncle. That's your cousin. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Any type of intimacy in front of them kids, no, you're not showing it.
So you would say this your uncle or this your cousin, though?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
well, that's what
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's what they do.
Okay.
I believe that every
Yeah.
parent definitely should be telling their child, about somebody touching on you, somebody saying the
Oh,
wrong
yeah,
thing to you,
most definitely.
somebody making you uncomfortable.
Comfortable.
Right,
If
yeah.
somebody says something or touches you, you let your parent know.
Absolutely.
I feel like,
I don't care
especially
who
with
it
new
is.
people,
Yeah.
with new people, you know, I don't mean no harm or nothing, but that's one of the very first conversations that I have with my kids, and they small, and I let them know if this person treats you mean or make you feel any kind
Exactly.
of way that's awkward, you make sure you let mommy know.
No matter what
No
they
matter
say,
what you do.
you make sure to let your parents
And
know.
I tell them, the only way you can get in trouble is if you lie. The truth you ain't gonna
I
get
feel
in
you on that
trouble
one.
for
Exactly.
telling the truth.
Right.
And
Same thing I tell
parents
my kids.
believe your child. Oh
Right.
my God, it's
That's the
annoying.
biggest
It's
issue.
annoying
Yeah, you hear about that?
when
I
child
did, yeah.
goes to their parent, their mother or father, and the mother or father attacks the child.
Yeah, and sides with the other
and
person.
sides-
Right,
Come on,
right.
really, your child is innocent to a certain extent, and you got to protect that child. You know that child should mean more to you than yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
you know what?
got to
though?
protect that.
It's a sad
Yes.
case though, because I can speak from experience as well as from the background that I came from around a lot of different women as well as men, where as though the parents tends to look the opposite way, and it's very sad.
That's
you know,
crazy.
But
That
they
movie,
did.
Mama.
Yeah.
It's sad, but they come from
Oh,
households.
precious.
A lot of people come from households where as though don't tell nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and-
There has
Yeah.
been such a
Cause of family
a bad
embarrassment.
thing
Right,
in,
right.
in our community.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, an uncle or a cousin or something touch a child, and then everybody in the family knows that so and so
no
is a
one say
pedophile,
that.
but don't
Yeah.
nobody say nothing.
Yeah, nobody
Oh,
said
That's
that.
why.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's-
not
and
going
it's
on.
heartbreaking.
Going back
Yeah,
to
we need to.
you know,
Our fourth topic was.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that? Did we introduce it already?
The marriage laws.
Yeah, marriage law.
No.
Okay, well, run that real quick because I want to get into it before the show.
Okay, so apparently only 8 out of the 50 states require both participants to be 18 in marriage. And there's some places where you can be 14 as long as the parent signs off on it. And to me, that's just ridiculous. I didn't know that.
Right.
One parent.
Right.
So,
and
an
tell about the,
instance-
yeah,
the
yeah.
instance I saw was a 14-year-old girl went to visit her father for the summer. Her father signed the papers for her to marry this 60-year-old man at 14 years old. Now, the father was in some cult and thought that that was the right thing to do. It was biblical and this, that, and the other. I don't know how people justify everything that they do with the Bible.
Brainwash.
Because
Seems like
is,
it.
it is,
But the
it
Bible
is
ain't based
ridiculous.
on that.
You
Yeah.
got to use common sense regardless of what you're going through. You know your 14-year-old daughter is not ready to be in a
There's-
marriage.
yeah, there's nothing that's
she's
gonna
still
let me
playing with
sign off.
Barbies. Seriously, what is wrong with you?
Right,
A
yeah.
lot.
And you have to be 18 to have to be able to petition the court.
Right.
So the child is stuck in the marriage and can't get a divorce. If they're abused, if they're treated wrong, they
Are
can't
you
even get out
serious?
of
Hold on,
it.
say that again. You
Who they
said
gonna
what?
go to? You
said-
have to be 18 to petition the court.
So when they marry them at 14,
Yes.
they have to wait until they're
At least. And then
But can a parent re-intervene though?
How? The
I
child
guess,
is
yeah, once they're
married.
Married, legally married.
So
Yeah,
it's
already
up to-
signed off
So
on
how
it.
do you do that as a parent?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then check this out, right? Okay,
Yeah.
now you're 60, married to a 14-year-old. No matter what you do to her or him, if you do whatever, then there is no escape for the child. I mean, and think about it. The adult, the oldest one, has the job. They have all the resources.
And you gotta- and you gotta know-
But he's
what
the
are they
one
gonna
that's
do?
in
Yeah.
control of
Right,
it.
I was gonna say, and guess what he's gonna do?
They're gonna brainwash them so much. by the time
Because
they
now the
get
kid,
old
the kid's not gonna be able to. They're not gonna be able to talk to anybody their age by the time they get to be a teenager.
How you gonna marry
because they're gonna tell them,
somebody
hey,
to your child that's older than you?
Exactly. Exactly.
it's crazy.
Hey, Sheila Dawson.
Because by the time that kid gets 17, 18, 19 years old, they're not gonna have any interaction with kids their age because that person has control. They know that when they talk to anybody,
educated?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is the person going
But
to let them
life as they see it has,
continue their education?
does it sound like that's a regular thing they would do?
life as they
They're not
saw
gonna do
it
it.
has been stripped away from
Crazy.
them.
Going on
Yeah.
now. It's just
Yeah,
so much
life has been
nonsense
stripped
in
away
America
from 'em.
that they got going on.
But the
This
thing is, it's
Absolutely.
not new. It's just being exposed.
Yeah.
And then people,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it's,
you're right about
everybody's
that.
shocked when this dude got a hole in his head because somebody in the family
Yeah, now
acted
half,
properly, acted, you know what I mean?
But do
Took
the family
exception
even
to
know?
it.
Afraid so.
half of
Okay,
the
That's-
time
that's the
now.
question.
He
Yeah.
married this kid and moved off to the mountain. Who
Right.
know what this kid going through?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows what this
There's nothing
child
they can do about it.
Guaranteed the parent is away from the family because they're
Exactly.
in shame. So
And then, okay, you send your child to visit their mother or father, and they sign your child into marriage. What is your reaction?
going crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, crazy is an understatement.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
don't
be-
understand it. I don't see how people I don't get it. I mean, so many things. Everybody
That's
who
a
went to
war
jail
right
on a
there. Forget Will
marijuana
Road
charge
three.
should be let out. Because they don't need to make room for people who are serious about taking care of their wives
Yeah.
and their children, their women and children.
Right.
Because I ain't with it. I can't even imagine.
Right.
I'm not trying to promote
Vigilante.
ism.
Yeah,
Okay, yes, the hell I am. Hey, protect your woman and your children.
You gotta do
Regardless
what
of
you
what's
gotta
going on,
do.
protect your woman and your
Even if
children.
that means
Regardless of what
sacrificing
happens,
your own
protect them.
livelihood.
Because that's nonsense. And they can't defend themselves, especially a child.
Not at 14 years old anyway.
I mean, there are some boys
They are signed up.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But come on, your daughter? 14?
As a parent,
at 18,
we sign them off.
at 18, they still trying to figure out what life is.
At 26.
Still trying to figure out what life is. Still haven't left home yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And come on, really, we got to get more involved with things.
think
Everybody
people need
who's
to start
becoming activists
pushing.
and who are talking about things, thank you. Thank you for putting everything out there and making it known.
Now let me ask this right here. Was this a white couple, white family?
I refuse to get into that because I don't know.
Okay.
I know the female was white,
Okay, there you have it.
but I don't know about the male.
There you have it.
But
Absolutely.
regardless, I don't think
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah.
I don't believe
No,
none.
it don't matter. I just believe that
There are
as an
some white
American,
fathers
man.
who are
Yeah.
just as
Bad.
whatever as black
Yeah.
fathers. And then you
Yeah.
touch their child, you die.
Yeah.
There was a guy in Texas who a family member molested his daughter. He found out about it and killed him.
Yeah.
I would give
Yeah.
that man the key to the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me personally. So you know, and then there's some
Yeah.
black guys who know about people that molest their
Right.
child.
So-
Now, if it's another child,
Right.
I understand not killing them. I
Right.
understand, maybe get them a good whooping or put them in
Yeah,
juvenile
get 'em help.
or whatever,
Yeah, right.
or getting them some kind of help. But if it's
Right.
an adult who there's no doubt in anybody's mind that they know better. A 15-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl, I get it. Don't kill them.
So what age are you
You know what I'm
saying
saying?
that,
I don't know.
and I say this right here to the whole table,
Mm-hmm.
at what age, listen very carefully, what age do you think a child should get married?
21. Do it like how they.
No, listen to me now.
Should get
I said,
married.
what age do you think a child should
Ain't
get
no
married?
child getting
Child
married.
should marry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That's a key word right there. A child,
11 years old.
get
Should
married.
be at least
Absolutely.
55.
And you know these different cults.
Yeah, 36 to get married.
These different cults, these monogamous cults, where they're marrying 4 and 5 wives,
That's polygamy.
polygamy, they're bringing them in at 15 and 16 just the
Oh, yeah.
same.
Can
Absolutely.
I bring
Polygamy,
something in?
polygamy,
Real
yeah.
quick about what you said.
Uh-huh.
course, come
They're
on.
bringing them in.
Ask no
When
question.
you were talking about people coming together and activists and stuff like that, I do want to say to you guys, like, we got to start doing more research. We got to start looking in different communities and looking at different activist organizations, because they're way more closer than we realize they
Exactly.
are. It's a lot of media, organizations that's going on. One that I'm familiar with is Push Black. It's all over the Facebook, and they talk about a lot of things that's going on right now that's destructive to us as well as other different cultures and people, and a lot of things that people that aren't seeing. Whereas though it's as simple as you reading an article, sharing it, and signing and pushing on what you feel as though
We
isn't
gotta
right
vote.
and wrong.
We gotta vote. We
Got
gotta
to
get
vote.
Congress. We
Got
gotta
to
get
vote.
younger
Right,
Congress.
right.
We gotta
Right.
get a Congress that don't give a damn about Democrats or Republicans. We gotta give a Congress that's about the American people.
And make
You know
your
what I'm
vote
saying?
count.
I mean,
Exactly.
okay, King, the talk show king, we out of time, so we gotta go. But
Absolutely.
we gonna keep talking until we cut off. So, this is nonsense. We gotta get a Congress that are young
Vote.
who don't give a damn about Republican and
Vote.
Democrat. We gotta get our local
Vote.
officials. When we see people getting killed without guns and without weapons, vote out the police, the chief of police. Vote out the
Right.
mayor.
Absolutely.
Vote out the governor. I guarantee
Say
you
that
shit
again,
change.
say that again.
Vote out the police, the chief of police. Vote out the governor. Vote
Absolutely.
out the mayor. I guarantee you shit have changed.
Just vote,
Change
though.
all. Yeah, exactly.
Just
Because
vote.
like
Exactly.
you said, we can
Make your
speak on
vote
as
count.
much as we choose to, but if we don't
Exactly.
take action, then it serves no purpose.
We, the people of the United States, in
Right.
order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the. I can keep going, but
Right.
the difference
Yeah, I
is
was
we,
gonna
the
say,
people.
serious.
That's the preamble to the
That's
Constitution.
right. We are the people.
We are the people. We run the government, not the other way around. We
Right.
run things. And as
Right.
soon as you know that, and as soon as you enforce it, things will get better because most of us don't want this nonsense that's going on.
And it's
Holler at your boy.
So vote.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.